Hello Canvas community. This video will give you an overview of what to do with the roll call attendance reports shared spreadsheet that I provided the link for in the community. It is view only, so the first thing you want to do is log into your own Google Drive and go to the file drop-down menu and make a copy. And you can name it whatever you want to. I'll click OK, and this is now an editable copy of the report. You notice it no longer has the view only icon. So in fact, I'll close that. So let's assume you've downloaded and saved your roll call attendance report. The next thing you want to do is go to the file drop-down menu, open, and click on the upload tab and find the roll call attendance report, which is likely in your downloads folder unless you moved it somewhere else. And you don't have to worry about overwriting the data that you have here. This will simply open it up in a new tab. Now this is a sample course site with hypothetical students. In fact, to give you an idea, here's my attendance. I've got about 12 students or so in here, and we'll say that I took attendance for the entire fall 2017 term when I ran the report. So here's all the data. Next up is very simple. Just select the entire spreadsheet by clicking up here between A and 1. And now with all the data selected, I will go to Edit Copy. I will now go to my copy of the roll call attendance report that I made, go to the original CSV data tab. Cell A1 should already be selected. That is where you want to start, and I will click Edit, Paste. And this can take a few seconds depending on how big your original CSV file was. And basically that is it, because now it's just a matter of going to the other tabs on this sheet. The first one is number of times present absent, and as you see, this is a pivot table that I created that will automatically take the data that was in your original CSV data and populate it. It's in alphabetical order by student name, now by first name of student, which is the way the roll call attendance report runs, and you will see a tallying of the total absent, late, and present that you may have selected for each student. So in my hypothetical class, I did record the lates. You didn't have to. If you didn't want to, that's fine, but it will give us the raw totals. On the next tab over, list of days present absent, this will give you an A to Z listing of all the individual dates that were recorded for each student being late, present, or absent. So if a student has a question about a specific date, you can look it up. And finally, the last one, recorded days by student name, will be an indicator for you of the days you took attendance. So what I did here was all of the dates you took attendance are arranged across the top, and it's flagged so that the number 1 will appear for a day you took attendance. The 1 is not an indicator of what their status was, either present, late, or absent, but that you indeed took attendance. So the reason for this is this will help you identify any dates where you may have forgotten to take attendance. And in fact, as I scroll over, and by the way, column A here is frozen so that the student names will always be in column A. You'll notice I'm clicking and dragging across. Aha, we see right there on November 15th, I remembered to record something for 3 of the students, but nothing at all for the others. So that identifies a day that I forgot to take attendance. And in fact, if you look back on the first one, number of times present absent, that Daisy Duck had 42 days, as did Roadrunner, as did Wile E. Coyote, had 42 days, but all the others had 41 days total. And that is proven by looking at the recorded day sheet. So on November 15th, I clearly forgot to indicate attendance. So if we look at my course site and go to November 15th, we see that indeed I did mark Wile E. Coyote, Daisy Duck, and Roadrunner. Daisy Duck was absent. Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote were both late. But the others I simply forgot to take. And as you know, that no mark signal is not enough to indicate that the student was present or not. You do have to click on marking as present. So that's the purpose of that very last sheet. So hopefully you found this useful. As I indicate on the blog post, this is on Google Sheets. You may be concerned about student privacy, so my recommendation is after you've gotten the material that you want or perhaps saved it yourself, maybe do an Excel spreadsheet, go back to the original CSV data tab, select all data again by clicking right between that A and 1, and then simply go to Edit, Delete Values. That will remove this, and now if we go back to the other tabs, there's absolutely nothing there. So that will get rid of the data, and the sheet is fresh to take your next attendance report, to go through the same steps again. I hope you found this useful.